Okay, welcome back to the Low Resolution Podcast, everyone.
Howdy.
I'm BT, along here with my man Charles,
Howdy.
and yeah, another exciting time of talking to you about video games. Yay!
You know, it's kind of a quiet week.
Yeah, I did notice that.
There's not like a whole lot of, I know that I prefer to bitch about stuff, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of bitching this week, and that's about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I like to talk about the good stuff that's happening in the industry, but
Yeah,
gotta complain sometimes too, right?
it just doesn't seem like there's a couple of things, I guess, but
Yeah, well,
it doesn't seem too great. Just
it definitely could be worse, but it could also be a lot better.
it could be better, it could be worse, yin yang.
Yeah, but I guess first on the list we had Overwatch. Overwatch
Never
2.
played it.
It's happening. Aren't you hyped?
All I've heard is people don't like it because it's pretty much just like the first one. And I have played 0 seconds of Overwatch in my lifetime, so
Yeah, and I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I'm actually someone who does enjoy Overwatch from time to time. Mostly with friends, because I could never play that game by myself. But it's your tactical, objective-based team shooter, and I don't know. It's good when it's good, but when it's bad, it's pretty bad.
I've just never been into that
What?
whole team-based shooter thing.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that people seem to be complaining about is team comp in the beta. I think it's still going on actually. But it's people are complaining that the support classes are like the ones that are less mobile are a lot less viable this time around, which sucks. As someone who liked to play Mercy a lot, which isn't very mobile. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it because it's sure it's a game that I played, but it was never something that I was particularly excited to see a sequel for.
From what I gather, is the sequel is like useless. Like it's there. People are saying there's like no difference.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what I've been hearing too. It's like updated character models. They changed a couple heroes to different uh class types. Like I think Doomfist is a tank now, but whatever. But yeah, it's definitely more of the same.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, didn't they like stop doing updates for the game for a long time for this?
For did they stop updating Overwatch 1 for Overwatch 2?
Right. Isn't that what people were saying?
I think it's what people were worried about initially, but um as far as
Hasn't the game like not had any content updates for a long time?
no. Shit, who's the last hero that they released? Overwatch 2. Yeah, I don't even remember. I think it was like Baptiste or something, which is another support class.
When
Um,
was that added in?
a little while ago. So it's probably been it's probably been a little bit since there's been a significant content update for the Overwatch game. I mean, other than skins and like seasonal events, it's not a lot.
Of things that Activision can make money off of?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So, bottom line is Overwatch 2, it's coming. It's not it's not the sexiest, most exciting thing in the world, but it's on the way.
It is the sexiest game out there, though.
Well, depends where you search on the internet, right?
And maybe this will reinvigorate the people in Pornhub.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah, like I said, I've never played it before, so
yeah. So, on to the next one.
kind of just is what it is.
Um, so next on the list, I had Final Fantasy 16.
There was just an update about that. The developer said that it's like good to go, and they should have something to show about it soon.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see some more next month from Square finally showing off their game that we've been dying
I
for.
fucking hopes. I hope so, man.
Yeah, I do too, because I loved 15.
I love the Final Fantasy series in general, but yeah, I really did. I love 15 as well.
Well, the reason I say 15 in particular is just because it looks like this is going to be like it's going to be high fantasy version like of 15 is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, like they're going back to the original Final Fantasy setting,
Mhm.
but with the 15 combat and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So what I've been reading this week is just they're close to the end of development, so that's kind of exciting to hear. Finally,
Yeah, that really makes me happy.
I know, me too, because once again, it's just something we've both been dying for, and when we, I know personally when I saw that trailer at uh was that Game Fest or E3?
God, I don't know. It was how long ago now?
It was a few
It's
years.
been a few years.
Yeah, but um I know when I saw that trailer, I got pretty hyped about it.
Me
I
too.
I, I got hyped about it, but I was a little sad that it was going to start off as a PlayStation exclusive.
Well, you know Sony. They're gonna get those grubby hands on any exclusive they can.
Yeah, they gotta sell their consoles somehow, right?
Yeah, who needs to be competitive in any other way when you could just force people to play on your console?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just watching this trailer again, and it just looks so good.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it turns out. I'm really excited for it. I hope. I was kind of worried for a while that it was going to be in development hell,
Hmm.
just because it's been kind of quiet for a while. Um, but from what it sounds like, is that it's like almost done.
Yeah, it's weird. They've been like super hush hush about it, haven't they?
Yeah, I think something happened.
So I that's kind of why I'm in the same boat with you because I was also starting to get a little worried that um, maybe something had gone wrong in development, and but it's nice to see that they're finally getting through production at the end of development. Hopefully, I hope we get a release date next month. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I assume that during a Sony event they'll announce it. The question is when.
Has Sony announced their event yet? Like when it is?
I don't know. I know Microsoft and Bethesda just announced it for beginning of June, right? Is what they announced it for?
Yeah, so Xbox Bethesda was June 12th, and then Summer Game Fest is June 9th,
June 9th,
I
I
believe.
think. Yeah, 9th. So I'm going to assume Sony's in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in that window, that early
Yeah,
June window.
because Nintendo's going to be the same.
Yeah, I mean, everybody tends to put their events like right around the same time, so it's probably going to be right in that sort of week to week and a half E3 Summer Game Fest time, you know?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I'm fucking really excited.
I am too. I can't wait. Can't wait. We're getting another
It should be
Final
pretty
Fantasy.
good. Finally.
I
I think
know.
it wasn't too bad of time though. I'm pretty sure 15 took like 10 years to make or some shit.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yes, sir. 15 was kind of in development hell itself.
Well, it might have been in development hell, but at least the finished product turned out pretty good, I would say.
I agree, but a lot of people disagree with us, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, can't please
I
everybody,
could
right?
It makes sense. I mean, they did leave like you had to watch a movie to like get a whole chunk of the story, and like the backstory stuff was hidden behind like an anime, so I can kind of see why people were a little bit upset with it, but just watch the fucking movie. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay for it, I just pirated the thing.
Yeah, I could see why it's a little frustrating to have some of that lore locked, but you know, it's not that hard to figure out what happens.
Yeah, the ending part was there was like some annoyance at the ending that they fixed now, but still, I
Hmm.
still adored that game.
I did too. I loved every minute of it, especially fishing.
Fuck, it was so good. I just remember all night long fishing. Mm.
The the fishing was too good because I got distracted from like side quests and stuff that I'm supposed to be doing just to go
Yeah, the
and
actual game.
just to go and fish.
Yeah, it's crazy,
It was fun though
but it was
because
lots of fun.
I liked going for those legendary fish. That was always fun.
They took forever. I remember sitting there for half an hour at a time trying to catch that one fish.
Oh, do you mean the one that's like in the beach, like that bay area?
Yep,
I remember that one. Good
there was a
times.
couple of them, but yeah, it's fun. I recommend it. I recommend if you haven't played Final Fantasy 15 to go back and play it.
Yeah, definitely. If it's one that you skipped over, I also would recommend that.
Yeah,
Okay.
here's hoping 16's good, and here's hoping Sony doesn't fuck us over and make it exclusive for a whole year.
Fingers crossed that it's only 6 months.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Square and stuff, you wanted to talk about um that deal that just went
Them
through, yeah?
axing their American side of the corporation.
Yeah, that's kind of something, isn't it?
It's a little bit of something. It just goes to show that Square, and I think it's really um it's it's just a product of the way that Japanese companies just operate differently than American companies do. Um and unfortunately for Square, they kind of got shafted. Um like the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing, uh where they were making a single player game, and then Square forced them to change it into a live service game. And it seems like Square kept using their American side to kind of try out all these different kind of scummy monetization practices. Like with the newest uh
Babylon's
what's that
Fall.
game?
Is that what?
No, that one I think is actually a um, a Japanese developed game. What's their kind of cyberpunky game that they would develop? Deus Ex.
Oh
The most
yeah.
recent one, and the most hated one was it was because they had microtransactions in a single player game.
I never played Deus Ex, the most recent one.
Me neither. And a big part of that is because it had microtransactions in a single player game.
Yeah,
So, and like they did the whole episodic thing with the Hitman series, which really kind of really fucked with that series when it first came out. And
that was a
so I just
huge.
feel like they kind of got shafted. And what's weird is they kept a couple of the games, like they kept Life is Strange, and they kept
Just Cause, right?
Just Cause, which kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They also kept Outriders, which makes me believe that there's gonna be an Outriders 2, because Square came out and said that that game wasn't a success, but them keeping the IP makes me think that they have a plan for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like why keep the IP if you don't want to do anything with it for the future, you know?
Exactly. So I think something interesting is coming with it.
Yeah, um I thought that was interesting. I just thought it was interesting that they decided to keep those titles in particular.
What else was really interesting to me is that they didn't keep Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, I could see the other ones like letting go. They lost like $200 million with the Marvel IP because they're fucking idiots. But Tomb Raider like was constantly on the bestsellers list.
Damn, thanks for the 12 months, Chance. Appreciate you, brother.
I mean, let's see, it's 88 million units, 38 million. So half of the Tomb Raider series whole as a whole, half the sales came from this reboot trilogy. So I'm surprised that they let it go. I assume that they're just done with the IP, that they didn't have anything else to do with the story. So
Did you did you play much of Outriders?
I beat the game actually. I got to the end game.
Oh, did you?
I
What
did.
what was the end game like?
Boring.
Yeah, was it just
It was too grindy. The game was all right. The problem is the the leveling system was way too restrictive. Like you had three branching skill trees for each class, um, but they didn't give you enough points to kind of mix and match and have fun with it. Which is always my problem with these looter shooter games. It's like, let me go crazy, let me be overpowered. Don't be afraid to let me be overpowered. I want to be. I want to have fun. Let me do crazy shit, and then just make crazy enemies for me to kill.
yeah, let me break your game and then just
Yeah,
beef up those enemies, you know?
exactly. Don't just make them broken too. Like let's just like make it fun. And that game had the opportunity to do that because it's not in the division kind of hole where it has to be realistic.
Yeah, kind of grounded.
So, but it was their first shot, and I I had it on Game Pass first, and then I actually that day I had so much fun with it. I went and bought it on Steam because I wanted to play it on my PC.
Oh wow.
So
Would
the game
you
was good for what it was.
would you
But
play in Outriders too?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I think that they have a really good solid grounding. As long as Square doesn't fuck it up and try to monetize it with NFTs or something,
Yeah.
which is what that money is going towards, what they sold these IPs for.
I liked Outriders 2. The biggest problem that I had with it was I jumped in too late, so I didn't have
Yeah.
anybody to play with. So
Yeah.
running that game solo is it's not great.
That's what I ended up I ended up doing because I kept playing on like the as you go you unlock higher difficulties. I kept playing on the higher difficulties, but eventually I just slammed it down to the normal mode and just went through the entire story by myself in like an hour because I was so over leveled at that point. Because I was like, man, just let me get to the end game and let me try like because those games, the end game is what makes or breaks it, and it just wasn't really there.
Was was the end game more enjoyable for you than it was going through just like the regular campaign?
The end game was it was okay. I couldn't tell you fuck all about that story. It got to the point where I was just skipping through it. Um, I think I had more fun with the campaign just because everything kind of felt fresh. The whole not knowing what's going to come next, I think, is more fun than getting to the end game and realizing, oh, I'm just going to grind the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
which can be fine, but they need to at least make it interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I personally I would like to hop back into that game at some point just to see what it's all about cuz like I said, I never got a fair chance to really have a good experience with that game. So, it'd be fun in my opinion to jump back in and see what's up.
Yeah, I mean, if they've added in like more exciting loot and stuff, I mean they have been updating the game, so I'm going to assume they did.
Yeah, they've been updating it, and I believe there's an expansion coming out this year, later this year. So,
Mm, interesting.
like,
You could probably talk me into it. You know me, I'm a sucker for these looter shooters. I think that this game has lots of it has lots of potential to be something great. So,
yeah, and I mean, both of us, man, it seems like we've both been just searching for this, like, perfect looter shooter just
yeah,
to
I think a lot
satisfy.
of people are. And it's just I don't know. Like even Tiny Tina's, it ended up not being like as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but the way that I look at Tiny Tina's is it's more of an investment over time just because the more fun content and loot grinds is going to come later from the expansions.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how those games have been in the past anyways.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I have high hopes for it. Um Anything to kind of add some more to breathe some more life into that genre, I am all for.
Yeah, cuz God knows that it needs it, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do with all of their crypto and NFT money that they're going to make from this deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the perfect transition into the next topic. The NFT sales declining.
92%. NFT sales have declined 92% since their peak. And we have these fucking gaming companies who are still trying to push it. Fuck you, Ubisoft, and fuck you, whatever you're called, fucking Final Fantasy developers. You're pissing me off.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
well, not just us, but a lot of other people, because NFTs have no business in this industry.
They don't add anything. There's nothing that NFTs or blockchain add to gaming other than gambling. That's all it's adding. It's just loot box 2.0. And whenever I try to have somebody explain it to me, I always say, give me a good reason why NFTs are needed in gaming other than you making money. And there is none.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there ever is. It's always just, oh, you can make money, dude.
Don't you want to be able to resell your skin? No, not really. I don't give a fuck. Also, what does a blockchain technology need for that? They're literally doing it right now in CSGO. You can sell your fucking skins to other people because it's just a marketplace. You don't need blockchain tech to do that. It's stupid. I don't know. I'm glad. I'm glad that fucking 92%, they've gone down 92%. Sucks for the people who are fucking holding their bags and got screwed over, but use your fucking brain.
I'm just reading the very end of this article and I thought it was kind of funny. Another NFT based on rapper Snoop Dogg, which was sold in early April for about 32,000, is now reportedly up for auction with an asking price of $25.5 million, but the highest current bid is $210.
Yeah, because at this point, everybody knows that they're not worth any money. So, the only people who are going to be interested in buying them anymore are it's just somebody to say that they have this shit NFT from that year that NFTs were blowing up for some reason. So,
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, NFTs are a scam. They don't belong in video games. Keep them out.
it's the next loot box. And as soon as we start allowing this shit to come into gaming, it's just gonna it would be the beginning of the end. Every single game would just turn into play to earn instead of just playing a fucking video game, and it just doesn't it doesn't need to happen. There's no point in it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened last week with Axie Infinity.
Exactly. And the problem is that these games target people from poorer countries. Like Axie Infinity is really big in the Philippines, but it's because these people can like sit there and grind for 12 hours a day and kind of scrape by and make a living. It's like nobody anywhere else is trying to make it big off this shit. I don't know. It's really scummy.
It's scummy. It's something that we got to keep an eye on and keep talking about. Otherwise, I I just get really worried that it's gonna keep digging its claws into the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a constant pushback from everybody because these developers they're gonna try everything they can to try to make a couple more dollars. And even if some people get fucked over, if they can just somehow do it and make a quick $10 million off of selling NFTs, they're gonna do it and bounce.
Yeah, and I mean, man, NFTs, they're such a scam, dude.
It's such a fucking scam. It's crazy to me, but I don't know. Let's just hope that it seems like all of the major companies have said they're not interested in it. So, and I can go out and say that I really don't give a fuck about Ubisoft, so whatever.
Yeah,
They
I
can,
mean,
they can suck a dick.
they might have said that they're not interested now, but let's just hope that it stays that way.
That's the problem, is that if it ever worked out for somebody, they would be more interested. Right now, they just know that it's not a good look to say you're interested. So
Yeah, and I mean, kind of like you were saying on the last podcast, it's gonna take a few more big failures before people are scared away from it.
yeah, and luckily it looks like these big failures are pretty common. So
Yep. I mean, it's a scam, people. Stay out of it.
just be smart. Just be fucking smart. Just know, like, you had like the people who got rich were in there at the very beginning, and then most of the time they've just sold it back and forth between their own accounts to make it look like there's interest in it,
Yeah.
but they're gonna drop that bag on you. So
Yep. I mean, it's pretty much on the same scale that cryptocurrency is. Just
yeah, that's another thing too. Crypto started off with the best of intentions, but it's been taken over by a lot of the same people who were part of the 2010 financial crisis in America. So you just got to be careful.
yeah, be careful, be smart with your money.
And
Simple
I'm a
as that.
fucking idiot, and I'm poor as fuck and live in an apartment and have like nothing to show for myself. But it's people like me that they want to get spending on this shit because they want all this a little bit of liquid capital coming in, so they would actually be able to pull their shit out.
Yeah,
So just be
definitely.
careful.
Definitely, definitely. Um
You want to talk about Genshin?
yeah, good old Genshin. Genshin.
Genshin has made $3 billion.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for a game it's free, guys. You don't have to spend a single dollar for it.
Yeah. Well, it's it's free all right.
I fucking can't stand these loot box gotcha games. For one, the game is rated T12, Peggy 12, so it's suitable for 12 and up. But it's made $3 billion off gambling.
Wow, this China ranks as the #1 revenue generating country since Genshin Impact's global launch,
Yep.
generating 973.3 million to date.
Madness, isn't it?
That is just disgusting, my friend.
And you can say what you want about the game. We all know why it's so popular, and there's a reason why the porn subreddit is more popular than the actual game subreddit.
Yeah,
It's just people gambling to collect fucking waifus, and they're spending thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes just to get a fucking character in a video game.
just to get a chance to get a character in a video game.
And not just that, it's so scummy that it's gambling and the people defend it. It's like, oh, you don't have to pay anything. It's then why don't they just make it so you can just buy shit? If they want to add in microtransactions to the game, whatever, just sell the characters for however much money. Apex does that shit, and Apex, you could argue the fucking characters are like necessary.
Yeah. I mean, they
But
sell characters and skins and shit all the time in games.
yeah. But so if the company is so great and you don't have to spend money in it, why do they force you to gamble for it? Because they make $3 billion a year off of it.
They sure do, don't
And for
they?
some reason, gambling is okay when you're 12 years old as long as you can't win money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's it blows my fucking mind, Brandon.
Like, oh man, that's just like that's wrong on so many different levels because it's like kids have no idea. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Like
Yeah,
if I'm 12,
yeah.
13, 14 years old, I don't know what the hell it's like sure, I'll play a free to play game. Yeah, I'm
I'm
all
sure I want to get the sexy anime girl,
yeah, don't we all?
but it's fostering that gambling addiction at such an early age when when you don't have the ability to understand what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's man. We could spend so much time on just this topic alone.
I loot boxes. I mean, that's a big reason why I didn't support. I never played Overwatch because I'm going to be honest. I just don't really support games with loot boxes. And I guess I did play Apex, but
But you
I don't
never
know. I
put
haven't in a
money into
while.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It's still. I don't know. As I've gotten older, this topic has kind of bothered me more and more. Um, just because it's ruining people's fucking lives.
Yes. 100%.
I mean, you see these stories about these people who spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars on these games, and it's just crazy. It's fucking crazy, and you can blame them all you want, but it's a fucking addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
And
don't know. I think that these companies need to be held more accountable for this kind of shit.
I do too. And unfortunately, as these things go, I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, they what what I honestly think needs to happen is games that have gambling mechanics for that you actually have to spend real money on need to be rated 18 plus.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So
And they need to
I think
have
that would be a huge start.
gambling printed on the ESRB label.
Yeah, for sure. This game includes gambling.
hmm
Yeah, I agree.
What a what a time to be alive, huh?
It's just such a bummer, man.
Yeah, we're living in a world where underage kids can gamble on waifus.
Ah, it's just a scary thought. And it's really scary because who knows what's going to happen, like who knows what it's going to lead to.
Uh, a lot of problems. A
Yeah,
lot of
for sure.
problems.
So, I don't know. This kind of stuff always scares me too because it's what gets government into gaming. This is what starts countries banning shit. And I don't know. Eh, That's the last thing that I want is the government dictating. But I also think that we need that as an industry we need to be responsible to protect people.
Yes, definitely. That should be like the highest priority is to protect people.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the highest priority is going to be money.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you
Always
do
is.
other than complain, right?
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell, but at least it's starting to get better. But you
Yeah,
have these crazy games that make this kind of money, and it just shows that it's never going to really go away.
slowly but surely, I think we'll see some progress.
Not with I think that as I think with this free to play market like the way it is, I think it's just going to I think it's just going to keep I mean people are going to see $3 billion and I mean they're salivating at that. I don't how much has like when did Genshin come out?
Um, I want to say
Not very long ago, right?
like a year ago or something like that. Maybe a couple years.
Yeah, 2020. So it's made over $1 billion a year.
That's crazy, man.
Like AAA games don't make that money and they sell for $60 a piece. So the waifus are powerful, my friend.
Well, they always have been, always will be.
Yeah,
What?
we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Just watch yourselves out there.
Watch yourselves. Watch your money. Watch your kids.
Fuck. That's a big thing. Use parental controls.
God, I know, right? Um, next we had positive news. Game Fest coming up. June 9th, baby.
Ninth,
June 9th.
and the
That's.
Bethesda Microsoft show too was announced.
Mm-hmm. Those were both
So
announced this week.
back to it. What do you think Summer Game Fest is gonna be? Since all the big companies are gonna have their own show.
Uh, I'm. I still think there will be AAA companies there, obviously, because there always is.
Yeah,
But I still am kind of on the side that I think they might have more focus on indie stuff.
do you think maybe it? Because remember they got Elden Ring, and that's kind of what blew this Blue Summer Game Fest up. Do you think that maybe like companies like FromSoft and companies who aren't like under the Nintendo banner or the Xbox banner, they're gonna concentrate more on like those kind of games?
Yeah, definitely. Anyone who doesn't have their own show, I would say, is probably going to be reaching out to Jeff Keighley, wanting a piece of that pie.
I think everybody wants a piece of Jeff Keighley's pie.
Well, he is a beautiful man.
Gonna be, yeah, it'll be interesting.
So, June 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I guess we'll probably have a special episode of the Low Res podcast.
Yeah, what's our plan for that actually?
Well, if we can't do it day of, I guess we'll just have to react to a rebroadcast or something.
Well, I know that Game Fest is gonna let us broadcast it,
Mm-hmm.
so that's pretty nice of them.
Yeah, Game Fest, they're fine with that. I know Xbox, they're usually pretty cool about that. Sony and Nintendo's always a mystery.
The wild cards.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would like to broadcast those events, but
Yeah,
we'll just have to see when we get a little closer, huh?
yeah. I always really liked watching the Nintendo stuff. I see people do a lot of Nintendo Direct stuff, so here's hoping.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big worry is um music.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I know that's the big thing that Jeff Rios talked about is that they're gonna have music that's okay to use. It's okay to stream. So
That's good at least. At least still Jeffy Boy is thinking about all the streamers out there.
yeah, you don't like the guy for some reason, but
Yeah, for some reason, but I think he's pretty okay.
yeah, I think he's an alright guy. My favorite thing is people will say there's too many ads. It's like we're fucking tuning into the show to watch advertisements.
Yeah. I mean,
We're tuning in to watch video game ads.
exactly.
You
That
fucking idiots.
that's what it's all about, man. It's like we're here to see the ads. That's what we want.
To literally be advertised to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think it'll be fun.
So another thing that came out this week was we now know that the Xbox Bethesda showcase is going to be about 90 minutes, and it sounds like it's going to be just one big show. So, what do you think? What do you think the focus of that show is going to be?
I think it's going to be Starfield will be a big portion of it, but I think we're going to see a lot of what all these studios have been working on for the past couple of years. I think they're going to do another like here's all these fucking games that we've spent billions of dollars acquiring.
Yeah, I would have to agree because it's like a couple years back, I just remember seeing Phil on the stage, just like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got all these companies now.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be their big focus. which will
Y-
be nice. I think we'll see some Fable too.
Yeah? You think
But
cinematic? B-roll?
I probably a cinematic with a release date or a release year.
I agree. I think we'll get a cinematic with a release year.
I don't think they're gonna want to put too much focus on that because they're gonna. It's just gonna be the Starfield show. They're gonna want to just generate hype for that game to get pre-orders going. I guarantee if our pre-orders open for that game,
I don't I last time I checked, I didn't see pre-orders live. I haven't checked
so
recently.
I guarantee that it's gonna be let's get hype for this game to get pre-orders going.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Um I think they're just going to be back to back to back to back games again, like usual, like they have been for the past few years. And I think Starfield's going to be huge. Um, I think they're going to end with something that nobody's really even expecting or heard about. I guess. I'm thinking that maybe we get a new IP announcement from them. Uh oh, did I lose you? I think we lost Charles, everybody. Damn. Just like that, he gone. It's amazing how he can stand so still like that. Oh, I'm sure he'll be back momentarily. Um, until then, once again, I would like to say thank you to Too Cold for the 12 months. What a guy. Big Preach. Thank you, my friend. Okay. Looks like he left. Look at us doing stuff. Boy, howdy. Okay. Damn, he's just gone. Hopefully power didn't go out. Oh, damn. We were just just barely there at the end too. Just barely. Oh, there we go. Hello.
My power went out.
Oh, I kind of figured maybe something like that happened. Welcome back.
That was weird. I'm getting hacked by the mainframe by the Genshin players. The Genshin Impact fucking players and the NFT guys have teamed up to try and stop me, silence me.
To take down Charles.
Oh fuck. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways, excited for Summer Game Fest. I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. I think it's a. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. Oh yeah, that story that came out about the about Nvidia getting in a little bit of trouble.
I didn't um really know anything about that until you kind of briefly went over it with me.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
So, long story short, Nvidia has to pay basically a slap on the wrist of 5.5 million to settle the charges that they were basically covering up where their sales were coming from for their GPUs. And they had been asked by, I believe, both investors and investigators, um, hey, uh, is the crypto boom that's happening right now, is that have anything to do with why your sales are so good? And they're just like, nope, everything's fine here. It all checks out. We're just selling to gamers. And that was not indeed the case.
Yeah, yeah, apparently it's a lawsuit from investors.
Investors?
Yeah, it says given the boom and bust nature of cryptocurrency, this means that Nvidia's sales numbers didn't necessarily indicate reliable future growth. So it makes investing in the company riskier. So they were lying about any of the to like analysts and stuff.
That's
So they're saying that they were trying to play it off like, oh, the gaming industry has grown so much, when in reality,
that's
it's the
just
crypto bros.
that's so shady, man. Like
It's really weird that they would lie about that.
they're
It's when it's so obvious.
they're bold-faced lying to the people investing in their company, saying that it's the gaming industry taking off, and when it's
Uh,
not.
It's fascinating too because it's so obvious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember reading that article a few months ago about how their earnings report came out as like one of the most successful periods of sales, and I was like, huh, you know, I'm not gonna automatically assume that, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this has a little something to do with crypto
For
mining.
sure. I mean, there's so many stories that came out where they were. There was a guy during the shortage who bought like it was a couple hundred cards, and he bought them for like 3,000 a piece. It was like way over like way above market price. But Nvidia just sold to him directly
Wow.
instead of saying, "Oh, we're trying to limit our cards and get our cards out to people who actually want them," and then they just go right off and. I mean, when somebody's gonna overpay by like 200, 300%, it's kind of hard to say no to, but it's like, don't fucking lie.
Yeah, I like I said, that's some shady stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's people out there. Hey, I'm people uh who like to play video games, and I was looking for a GPU. Uh, shit, I guess it's almost a year ago now,
Time
and
flies.
I I I couldn't find an affordable GPU, so I had to go pre-built. And I wanted to build my own, but I just couldn't afford to do that. And
Yeah, I was in the same boat.
all those crypto bros are just taking all these cards from us, man. That's just it's cold blooded. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's tough. What's gonna happen is that the market is gonna be flooded with all of these overused crypto mining cards, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna be truthful with how much they were used. So, give it a year or two, the market is gonna be flooded with trash, fucking GPUs, and we're not gonna. Uh, it's gonna be impossible to find a good GPU and trust it.
Yeah.
So, just wait for that to happen. But I mean, here's hoping that I think that the market is opening up to more companies, and I think that Nvidia, while I prefer their shit right now,
Hmm.
I think that given some time, I think more people might start getting into this market.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you. But I mean, I just saw this article like uh I guess yesterday. Like I saw it last night before we started recording the Let's Play, and I just was kind of blown away to find out that they were just straight up lying to the people investing in people that they're investing in this brand that they trust so much, and they're just getting lied to, and it's so shitty.
Here's a pro. It's so obvious. I can't believe that they thought they would get away with it. That's what my takeaway. It's like, how would they get away with it? But the issue is they don't care because they're getting a $5.5 million slap on the wrist. They made that probably in a day.
Exactly.
So, I mean, lying does pay out in the end.
Yeah.
Lie and cheat and gamble your money away, kids. That's the way you make money, apparently.
Low res did not condone lying or cheating.
But gambling, though,
Oh man, that's just
that's
that's
crazy
something
to me,
else.
man. What can you do, though?
Well, we can complain, and we
Yeah,
will.
I think I don't know. I think the takeaway from this whole thing is don't fucking trust these companies, people. It's pretty much what all today's been about. Don't trust these companies.
Yeah,
Just be smart.
do your
Just be smart with
research.
it. Yeah, exactly. It's an important thing to do. Trust indies. Go fucking play some indies. Steam is having a massive roguelike sale right now. Go buy Loop Hero for $5 and go buy Dead Cells if you don't have Game Pass.
Yeah, I think that Devolver Digital sale is still going on too.
Yeah, go support. Devolver's a great company too. Go support some indie teams or something. They're um they're always doing exciting stuff, and they're not fucking scumbags.
Yeah, you right.
Well, I mean, to end it on the good note, I was happy to hear that Ocarina of Time has been put into the Gaming Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I think it's well deserved.
that's some exciting news. I mean, talk about a classic, huh?
Ocarina of Time. Let me see what it was. Miss Pac-Man, Civilization, and Dance Dance Revolution.
That's that. Those are the only games in the Hall of
That
Fame.
was the that was the four from this year.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Dance Dance Revolution. Wow.
Yeah. Well, they said the museum highlighted its influence on the genre of peripheral-based music gaming.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a
So
lot of
yeah,
sense.
Civilization, of course. The big 4X strategy, and then yeah, Ocarina of Time, which really changed gaming as we know it, and it's still the highest rated game on most review sites.
Yeah, well, shit, man. If we never got Ocarina of Time, we would have never had your favorite Zelda game, Majora's Mask.
Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64. Ocarina of Time really brought out the 3D like action combat with the Z targeting, and Super Mario 64 is really what revolutionized platformers. So
Yeah, the whole 3D platforming genre. So like what 64 kicked off, basically.
yeah, it was it was a hell of a time to live through coming from NES, Super Nintendo, and then seeing these games brought out to 3D. It blew my little 6-year-old mind.
Yeah, blew your fucking mind, huh?
Yeah, but that's some good news. I'm glad that these games are being recognized today still.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we didn't have Ocarina of Time, I'm sure that we would have a lot less of the big open world games like that everybody loves.
It would be really interesting, but I mean, Ocarina of Time did give us Breath of the Wild, so
Well, the
the monkey paw curls, right? All right, I'm done. Hey, everybody, go if you don't have Game Pass, get fucking Game Pass. What are you doing? But also Loot River just came out, so download Loot River.
yeah, download that. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel too. We started a Let's Play series. Some exciting stuff.
It's
Uh,
fucking bullshit.
yeah, it's been a roller coaster of emotions so far, but we're hanging in there. Um, but yeah, the link is in the bio. So yeah, I guess until next time, see you later, everybody.
Bye. Get dude wipes.